I can't. I can't take the pressure anymore, the guilt.
That same note over and over and over again.
As if someone was trying to forge it.
As if someone was practicing, yeah.
I just thought that was the scrawlings of a madman. Ooh. Well, I guess that her genuine confused look helps me. I'm going to drop the facade and I'm just going to be like, oh, sorry, that was just a little test and you passed. So you'd be surprised how many murderers just fess up when you say you know what they did. So
right.
if anything, you've effectively cleared your name. Proud of you. Good job.
I'm glad.
Jane, here are a few things I know for sure. One of them is Alec wanted to hurt you.
Oh, not you too. Really? Have you been talking to Astrid? Honestly, there's nothing in that.
In what?
I swear. In Alec wanting to hurt me. I've told her a million times I don't want to hear it anymore.
So you think it's untrue?
Of course it is.
What if I told you I have evidence that he was trying to hurt you?
There's not enough evidence. It's all conjecture. Honestly, I told Astrid the other day.
So Astrid apparently was concerned as well. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna just run her through the paces. I'm gonna tell her that there was a pocket watch. Sorry, not a pocket watch. There was a pocket knife with green thread found on the body. There was the green rope that was cut. There was the wrench.
I know about the rope.
Does she know about the wrench? Does she know about the climbing wall?
She does not know about the wrench, but the rope I know that the rope was supposedly cut.
Did you know that it was cut prior to you supposed to be the one? That was a weird sentence. He cut that rope and he loosened the climbing rocks before you were supposed to check the climbing tower with him.
What does it matter anyway? He's not here anymore.
Well, it might help explain why someone wanted to do him in, the fact that he wanted to do you in. And then I'm going to tell her about the note. I can't take it anymore.
You really found that in Alec's cabin?
I did, along with how to kill a banshee.
She goes even paler, like she is deathly white, like all blood in her face is gone.
like a banshee, maybe?
Oh yeah. As you look around the room, there's pictures of Ireland on the wall. There's some family photos and stuff. Yeah. You feel pretty confident putting that together.
Okay.
You see no trace of holy water in her whole room, which is weird.
Wild. That's such a common occurrence. Interesting. So that's so funny that I did not piece together that was him forging a note. I thought that was a note from Jane, just written over and over again. I'm a silly dude. I guess I thought that. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I thought. Here's what I know now. I'm gonna tell her about the holy water and the knife as well.
Oh.
So not only did he have the means to hurt you, he had it all planned out. He had it so planned out, he would have been ready. Let's say you did go to that climbing wall and you did fall. He could have killed you right there.
Oh no.
So she does seem genuinely surprised by all this.
She is very surprised at all the evidence you just laid out for her.
Mm-hmm. So with all that being put out there, it would implicate you quite a bit to know that we have solid evidence that he wanted to take you out. So my question to you is, if not you, then who? Who would have killed Alec?
I don't know it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to process it. I've been pushing back against the idea ever since it's been brought up, so it's hard to. Oh my gosh. Oh.
So Astrid was trying to warn you for quite a while?
For she had her suspicions ever since I brought him on. She didn't like him, didn't like the look of him, didn't like the smell of him.
So what happened to Medina?
To Medina.
Is that connected to all this? He wanted to make it look like, did he know something about you and Medina? Did you kill Medina?
Of course not. Medina was my sister. I wasn't even in the country when she was killed. I wasn't there, but I should have been.
What happened to her?
Look, it's not a happy time. I'd really like to not dwell on it.
This again. Darn, I'm hitting the same point-and-click adventure wall. What evidence? What lack I yet? What else can I throw in here?
So which you can gather from Medina's death from Jane. She was not there when Medina died. She was not in the country, whatever that means.
And she doesn't seem to blame Alec for the death.
She doesn't seem to blame Alec. She doesn't seem to know how she died either.
Interesting.
Just that she was dead.
Because Alec's practiced Jane notes imply that he thinks he could get away with Jane leaving a suicide note that implies she was guilty of something.
You know that, look, after Medina died, I went through a rough patch. I had to get out of my head, so I went abroad for a wee bit.
Oh, man. Anything else you want to tell me?
This is really, really getting too much for me. I'm going to go get a drink. So she walks out, leaves you in her room.
Don't drink holy water. Okay, I'm going to look around her room.
Okay, now that she's gone. Again, it's a complete mess. Books spilling out of the dresser. The bed is like not even center. It's like skewed. There's a door on one end. It's open. You can see that it leads to a bathroom. And then stuff beyond, so...
Gonna give it the rounds.
Okay. So you start with what?
The books and the bed.
Okay, so you start with the books. You look at the books. None of them seem really that interesting. Some like how to run a successful business kind of books. But as you pull them out, in the back of the drawer is a book on voodoo. Which is weird. In fact, you flip it open. There's an inscription on the front cover. The Newman of Loire is watching.
Oh, nah.
So you flip through it. There is a dog-eared page that is about a ritual detailing how to raise someone from the dead. In fact, there's a quote that at the bottom that stands out. It says, "Must perform the ritual bi-monthly in order to retain corpse's animation. Keep away from fire as the flames will consume the reanimated soul."
Whoa. Oh, the plot thickens. Oh my. Oh my. Is Astrid Medina? That laugh dissuades me.
As you have that thought, you glance towards one of the family photos. You see
What'd she look like?
Jane, and there's a younger person who looks a little younger than Jane, but looks very similar to her. Very much siblings. They don't look like Astrid.
Okay. But also fire. Interesting. Who was not at the bonfire?
So you know that Peter wasn't there because he was in the woods. You know that Astrid was there until they lit the fire, and then she left.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that implies maybe if she isn't Medina, she's still... How often? Bi-monthly?
Bi-monthly.
So voodoo... Nothing in here about like controlling, is there?
No, just raising from the dead.
Just your run-of-the-mill resurrection.
You know.
Sorry, just that creepy note. The Newman of Law?
Loire. LWA.
The Newman of Law is watching. Gonna glance over to Pocket Watson and see if he gives a shrug. That's what I thought. Close Pocket Watson. Oof. Bed. Anything else in this bedroom?
As you look at the bed, you realize it's shifted weirdly. Like it is in the middle of the room, but it really is at an odd angle. So you move it around and you uncover a strange circle full of symbols and images. You're not
Ritual?
really sure, but it looks ritualistic. It looks occult in nature. In fact, you flip back to the book, it looks like the same bi-monthly ritual circle that is detailed in the book.
Okay. And does it look like this is a new circle or it's been here a while?
It looks like it's been used multiple times.
Been used multiple times. Where is Medina? Who is Medina? Why is Medina? Okay. Bathroom.
Okay. So you go into the bathroom. The first thing that catches your eye is that the tub is full of water. There's 3 different fire extinguishers slipped around places.
What?
There's another door. It seems like this is a Jack and Jill bathroom.
Okay. Fire extinguishers and a bathtub full. Okay. Banshees don't light on fire, do they?
No, but reanimated corpses do.
Oh, that's what. Wait. Is that what the voodoo book implied? I thought it was just saying keep them away from fire.
Keep them away from flames, as they will consume the reanimated soul.
They will consume the. You're telling me the lore here is reanimated corpses.
Fire is their garlic. Fire is their silver.
Right. I guess I was just trying to understand. These are here as a precaution. These aren't here as like whenever she's resurrected, she's already in flames.
Oh. No, it looks
Nothing
like precautionary.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go through this other door.
All right, the other door is open. One last thing before you leave the bathroom, though.
Sure.
You notice that there's a window facing outward, and through the window you can clearly see the line of cabins.
That feels important. Has she made any claims about what she did or did not know? I don't think so. And I have no reason to believe she was in this specific spot, so I'll just have to think on that.
Cool. As you open the other door, you realize that you're probably in Astrid's bedroom if you're going down the hall. So you open the door, and this is a lot more organized than Jane's bedroom, but there is tons of living things. There's plants. There are a couple of bird cages with little parakeets in them. There are pictures of tropical islands. It's super, super colorful in here. In addition, you want to notice more fire extinguishers, a couple of buckets of stagnant water, and just a bed and a desk.
Astrid didn't mention anything about dangerous fire. I guess who would tell someone their kryptonite? All right. Well, what else can I glean from the zombie room?
The zombie room? Not much. There is a daily planner hid in one of the drawers of the desk. As you open it, one of the pages is missing, but obviously you're not sure what that is. As you're scrolling through the pages, the fire alarm goes off.
You mentioned a fire alarm in the first episode. The foreshadowing. Okay. So sprinklers?
Sprinklers haven't come on yet.
Okay. I mean, anything else from this planner?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Anything else in this room?
Not that you can tell. The birds are freaking out, going crazy, but you do hear doors open and doors slamming elsewhere in the lodge.
I'm gonna run over to the office.
It is empty. The chair is spinning. It seems like Astrid left in a hurry.
Okay, well, I'm gonna rush in a hurry to that trash can.
Okay.
Planner page?
So you pick up the trash can. Inside, you do see a crumpled, like wet but dried now note in there. You also find various paperwork and a coil of green rope.
Interesting. Yeah. Can I uncrumple that note? Is it legible?
Yes. So you uncrumple the note and you eventually tease it out. It's torn. It's kind of murky now. And it says, basically the words you can make out are, she needs proof, so let's find it.
Any way for me to tell whose handwriting this is?
It looks like, as you look around, it looks like Astrid. In the trash can, you can see HR complaints actually written in the same handwriting by Astrid, tossed away in there as well. They're all towards Alec, so.
They're all towards Alec. Oh,
yes.
Man. So Astrid, oh, boy. But it seems like he really was the one sabotaging. Is she just that? The time. Oh man. Oh boy. All right. So two different possibilities here. I think to myself as the fire alarm goes off. If we have forged notes here, that makes me think she was the one who cut the rope, and she somehow did it with the pocket knife. I don't know how she would have gotten that from Alec, but the coil is here. But all of the other parts of that climbing tower story really implied like it was Alec with the wrench. Alec who didn't want Izzy to go that direction and was surprised and upset that he did, and invited Jane to go on it. And we definitely know that he had... We have no reason to believe that Astrid went into his room. Mm-hmm. At least not at this point. Which implies that he really did have a means to kill her. So maybe Astrid was at a point where she just really did want to create evidence. Is the rope separate from the loosening of the rock?
As you think on this, you think back to your previous pocket watch and mentions. You think back to your previous conversation with Jane about the rope. Do you remember what she said?
Not the rope again? As if it was brought up to her?
As if she'd already heard about it before.
As if she heard about it prior to last night?
Mm-hmm. It sounded like Jane had been told about the rope, like how Alec obviously sabotaged the rope, but it didn't sound like Jane believed it.
So yeah, Astrid definitely was trying to frame Alec for something that he was actually guilty for. That's what it sounds like right now. Interesting. Jane's desk. Can I find anything over there?
As you put back the trash can, you notice something else. Exactly where the trash can was, it was covering a blood stain.
Dun-dun! Like a blood stain of like a little bit of munchies that zombie would have.
No, like a blood stain, like something was covered in blood and was set down here.
Oh man, could 3 people be guilty? Was this a team effort? All right. I need to look at Jane's desk, and then I want to have kind of a mind palace scene real quick with everything I know so far.
Cool.
Well, actually, I should ask you, am I still like too much in the dark to draw big conclusions?
No, you've pretty much almost got everything.
Almost everything. Okay.
I think you could probably do it.
Okay. What's Jane got going on?
As you look at Jane's desk, I'll just go through this pretty quickly. So there's paperwork, tons of it. You scroll through it. There's paperwork indicating that Jane was ignoring the HR complaints that Astrid was raising against Alec, that she didn't believe them. In fact, there's as you dig deeper into the files, there's paperwork indicating that Alec would get to inherit the camp should Jane pass away.
And this looks like something that she made of her own free will?
Yeah, like a will sort of thing.
Okay. Interesting. So Alec has probable cause to want to kill her as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he would get back the camp that was given to Jane instead of him from Medina.
Yes.
Okay. Mind Palace.
Okay, let's go.
Everyone hated Alec. This much we know. More or less. And most people had a problem with him. I guess I'll just go through the suspects one by one. Peter almost certainly couldn't have been the one, because we have a bloody hammer found in his place that he couldn't have touched. The blood, I'm sure if I got my pocket Watson out, would be the blood of the vampire. Is that something I should double check?
You can if you want. We can hand wave that. Watson confirms it is Alec's blood.
Okay. All right. That really scraps Peter. Not only could he not have the hammer, he would not have left it almost certainly would not have left it in a room with the door open in kind of the first hiding place you would think of. And in addition to that, Alec was extremely nervous or suspicious around Peter to the point that he was completely decked out in silver. He had a necklace, he had everything. He had his entire cabin to ward off Peter. And Peter did have a good motive to go up against Alec, but he did not have the opportunity to do so, at least not when the crime happened, from what I know. Izzy, at this point, looks like he was trying to protect Myra to some extent. He was trying to... He claimed that he was the one who put the garlic there. He wasn't. Myra was. Izzy was trying to protect Myra. Myra confirmed that they're in a relationship. So that makes me think it's possible that both of them were in league with each other, because neither of them can give me a compelling alibi for where they were. Either they can't or they just choose not to. Astrid, what do I know about Astrid now? Hey, if Watson can check blood,
He can.
I'm gonna check that blood stain.
Yes, this also looks like Alec Harker's blood.
That's pretty damning evidence right there. So I don't think I know why quite yet. I know some of the why, but not all of it. But for the how, sorry, it's a lot to take in. I'm looking at my chicken scratch notes that are more hurtful than helpful. I really do think so at this point. Wait, so the silver key, Myra could have... Sorry, I'll come back to Astrid. Myra could have been the one who used the cabin key to put the garlic in there before it was found by Peter. Yes. That's a possibility, right?
That is a possibility.
Just because I want to tie up loose ends. Hey, Pocket Watson. Any thoughts on Myra? Anything curious about her?
Myra. I know that name. Do you know her last name by any chance?
Yes, I tell him it.
Myra's no odd. That reminds me of an old
Siren?
Story
Mermaid?
called The Mermaid of Zenor.
Aha! In your experience with monsters, when they get wet, did that change their physical appearance at all?
That would, I believe so.
Would she be able to walk on land when she's wet?
I don't think... If she's dry, I think she would be fine.
What if she's part wet? Or she's a little wet?
Part wet.
Because we do have a puddle. There is a puddle. So she got
I suppose
there.
if you were to splash her with water, I think she would turn slightly. But I don't think... depends on what kind of merfolk she is, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's neither here nor there. I really just wanted to complete this set. I'll have to see if there's anything special there later. Knowing what we know about in the will, or Jane, in case of accident, Jane stuff would go to Alec. I think that means we know why Black Lagoon was his to-do list. And I'm assuming he wanted a lawyer to protect himself after he killed Jane. That would be my best guess for Frankensons. I can't remember what else Frankenson said.
That's pretty much what you got.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Alec could have killed Medina in whatever way for the same reason that he was going to try to kill Jane, which is for money, basically, for the camp. It's a possibility, at least. Interesting. A vampire that's evil. It's crazy. Man. Okay. Back to Mrs. Astrid Zombie. Okay. It's funny that I went on all of this after like the evidence that's like super hard against her, and then my scattered brain is like, but what about the other ones, huh? Okay. So, confirmation, blood on the carpet, on the hammer, both Alec's blood. Stake in his heart, pounded with hammer.
Yes.
This I cannot think of any way to construe this unless she's protecting someone else. I haven't learned anything about allegiance to anyone else. It's very damning.
Allegiance is a good pathway to go down.
Oh well, she's loyal to Jane. She clearly cares about Jane. Oh, so maybe instead of forging evidence, she found the true evidence. Maybe she knew that Alec truly was going to go through, and maybe that was instigated by the climbing wall incident. she could have discovered from that. I think I have enough. I don't know everything, but
That's okay.
I have the 1, 2, 3. I have bloodstain, hammer. I think I'm ready for parlor room.
Let's go. Okay. Where do you want this to happen?
Center of camp, around the campfire.
All right. As you gather everyone up, the sprinklers eventually go off, quelling whatever started the fire.
There was an actual fire. I thought it was just an alarm.
You do see smoke coming out of the kitchen. If you remember, Peter left the stove on and the wooden spoon and then left.
Wow. You're truly a master storyteller. This is awesome. I love that. You're like, oh, you didn't notice? That's fantastic. Okay.
So you gather everyone up. Are you lighting the bonfire?
That sounds a little rude.
Okay.
Astrid, I need Astrid here for this.
Okay.
And it's not, I don't know, maybe it's close to evening.
Okay.
That would actually be kind of fun though if it's like it's twilight. It's still light outside, but it's just sunset.
Yeah, there's some storm clouds rolling in. You can hear some distant rumbling of thunder. But yeah, setting the mood.
And everyone shows up?
Everyone shows up. Myra even wheels out Izzy's cot so he can be there. What's all this then? A field trip. I'm excited.
What a pal. What a guy. Jane, before I go into all of this, you want to talk about this motley crew we got here? Do you only hire monsters, or is that sort of just the world we're in?
Well, she kind of puts her hand in her head. It's like, at this point, I guess I'll just, yeah. Even monsters need a place to go to camp. That's the kind of camp we run.
Camp Medina for monsters. All right. Well, Alec, last name eludes me.
Harker.
Alec Harker. Oh, I have it written right here. I looked at it, but I just assumed it was nothing important because my notes are awfully inconsistent here. Alec Harker, killed in an outhouse. Each one of you was not too hot on Alec, and rightly so. Alec was objectively a dangerous person, a person who backstabs, a person that left you, Peter, alone to die. Which, Peter, that incident gives you a wonderful motive for wanting to have orchestrated this murder. However, from the evidence that I have found, not only was Alec extremely cautious around you and had silver aplenty, it also appears as if one of the implements used to kill him was in fact a silver hammer, placed in your room as if someone wanted to frame you. But no, you were busy following the call of the wild.
That's right. Pulls out his Bowie knife, stabs into the log he's sitting on.
Dope. Fire. Myra and Izzy. Myra, you knew that Alec was essentially just getting money from Izzy.
Yes.
And considering you're in a relationship...
She looks over Astrid, who crosses her arms and thins her lips.
Don't worry, Myra, you're gonna come out on top in this, trust me. Considering you're in a relationship, you were mad on behalf of Izzy, who fell prey to a scheme of Alec's. So you wanted to hurt him with garlic.
Not to mention he stole her boat.
Ah, yes, that too. And you went through with it. You did undo the garlic to him, but you did not take it all the way. From the evidence, 'twould appear as if that didn't happen.
Peter grunts and's like, yeah, saw her cutting up garlic the other night.
Thank you. Izzy and Myra, you had attempted to cover for each other, but you did mean him harm. Jane, you also would have a reason to hurt Alec. However, you did not seem to know, or actually believe at least, that Alec was out to get you. But he was. From the evidence we have found, the book, the holy water, the knife, he really was going to go through with it. He was going to moidle you, possibly the same way that he moidled your sister. What's her reaction to that? Oh, head
She
flip.
is shocked. She is
Reeling.
one bombshell after another.
So, if you had known, if you had believed that he wanted to do you in, then you have the strongest motive of anyone here for wanting to kill him.
I swear I didn't know.
And I believe you. I believe that you didn't want to believe, which means that only a person who was your right-hand man or woman, someone who cared enough about this camp and about you to go further than anyone else here would be willing to go, could have done him in. That leaves us with the only last member of camp, Astrid. All
Everyone's
eyes
heads turn.
Every head turns. Astrid, there's a blood stain in your office. I don't have a grand story. I just have the smoking gun. You, probably to protect Jane, you've been trying to frame him to prove, at least to Jane, that he really had malicious intentions for a long time. And without enough evidence, you even tried to forge your own evidence. But you came down here to the last straw. Possibly you discovered for sure that he really truly was going to go through with trying to assassinate Jane. So you took things into your own hands with a silver mallet and a wooden stake taken from the tent of the first aid tent. And in the outhouse, do you want to explain why I was in the outhouse? Actually, first, go ahead. Deny it.
I cannot deny it, but you do not.
Woo! Woo!
You do not understand. To understand, we must go back many years. I was very sick, and the sickness got so bad that I was not supposed to make it. The last thing I remember is going into a dark spiral, and then all was black. Next thing I know, I'm awakened in the middle of the woods, years later, in Haiti, with Jane standing over me. Ever since then, I owe her my life. We're like sisters. And when I saw that she'd hired Alec on, I had my suspicions that he would take advantage of his position to take everything from Jane. I could not let that happen. I tried to warn her, but she did not listen. I found proof that Alec had tampered with the rope and with the climbing wall, but still nothing. Then I heard rumors about the holy water and the knife, and I knew that Alec would not stop at anything to kill Jane, and if Jane dies, I will die as well. So, 2 nights ago, last night, I waited in the bathroom watching Alec's cabin after he left the bonfire, waiting for an opportunity to corner him. The opportunity came when he left his cabin to go to presumably the outhouse. I followed him, I confronted him, and did it as quick as I could before running back to the lodge. Unfortunately, Jane had to use the bathroom at that time, and so she found him sooner than I anticipated. But in the end, I couldn't let Alec kill Jane. I didn't have exact proof, but I had no doubt that he would. He would do anything to get his hands on this camp. When Jane didn't see what I saw, I figured I'd take it into my own hands. So yeah, I killed him. I have no regrets. She turns to Jane. I only hope you can see now that I was trying to save you and myself. As you listen to these words, a crack of thunder splits the air as rain starts to spill down. You feel a little dizzy. You can just make out the form of Maya rushing towards you and a spark of lightning striking the nearby lodge as your eyes roll to white.
Whoa. Whoa.
You're back in the exhibit room, the camp flag torn and crumpled. You blink. The camp motto is still there, Quies Custodiet is Ipsos Custodes, but your ankle feels remarkably better now, and though you still smell faintly of wet dog. You notice one other difference. The empty frames are now filled with photos of young monster campers all having a riotous time at summer camp. You turn to see the curator standing behind you, smiling. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your time at Camp Medina. And thus the curtain falls on yet another murder.
A message. Hörst ihr Hicken? Hipsta. Med bichnika. Så ju fer. Hier föddes növe. Smis disen i munöv. Amalir från det. Hej strusdrof. Hörsjölka förståisnja. Mais vi men narrus. Sen ser någon vad jag am det. Ja.